salutation. I want to have Mr. Lindsay Huddleston, who is a former assistant to the governor, Governor Granholm, who is now an author and motivational speaker. He's been a very good friend to the caucus, and he has some remarks that we would like to receive from him. Would you receive him right now, Lindsay Huddleston? Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I'll be very brief with my remarks because of this powerful, packed program. Thank you all for having me here this evening. I only have a few minutes, 4 minutes to be exact. So what do you have to do when you have a short amount of time? You have to get to the point, talk about what's important, cut to the chase. So on this last day of Black History Month, what would Carter G. Woodson expect of us? He wanted Black History Month to be about recognizing the reputable achievements of African Americans. So the question I pose to you this evening is this: what will history say about us? Crime, education epidemics, 1 in 3 African American men in prison, 41% of African American males graduated from high school, and in my beloved city of Detroit, 31% graduated. And as I approach 3 minutes, you can check the Shot Foundation of those statistics. Now, I'm not here to place blame in one place. We all have a role to play. And what role can that be? Now, as it relates to the education academic, you can join forces with me in Real Life 101. It's a national program where we provide scholarships to African American males, along with laptop computers and mentors. Senator Taylor knows that we're in her city of Milwaukee at CEO Leadership Academy. We're looking forward to working with her going forward. But what about the violence? Every day there's a new headline. I called my good friend in Chicago after those infamous 41 murders in 50 hours, and I said, what can we do to stave off this violence? You know what he told me? He said we have to acknowledge the young people. Have to acknowledge them. Now, that seems like a very simple antidote for a very serious illness. And you may say, Lindsay, this generation is crazy. They have no respect for themselves, and they won't respect me. And we can look at the headlines in Detroit just recently and argue that. But let me share with you a quote from the ancient philosopher Socrates, and I'll paraphrase that. This was around 400 BC. And he said, the children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority, and show disrespect to their elders. You see, the game has not changed. History continues to repeat itself. The only thing different about the history now is these are the things that are happening in our lives instead of what we read about. So have no fear, for we are destined to take on these new challenges. We must remember, despite the headlines, that the parent cannot fear the child. We must be reminded that the older brother or sister cannot fear their younger sibling. You see, if we call ourselves children of God, how can we really be afraid? The Black church, spirituality, and religion have been our moral compass in this fight towards social justice, so why should it be any different today? So as they say, if you're scared, get a dog. But if not, you know you can pray to the Most High. And fear not, as we acknowledge our young men and women. A simple hello has been known to change one's mind from committing suicide, so imagine what that can do to prevent a young predator from acting upon you. A young woman needs to hear a greeting that appeals to her humanity and not her sexuality. These are small things with a major impact. A smile to change one's day. A word to change one's life. History has handed us the baton. And it's our turn to make an impact. We must be of purpose and not be passive. We must engage our youth and not ignore them. And with this new challenge, we must have a special courage. That same courage that made you stand when others sat. That same courage that made you run for office when others said you would not win. The same courage that allowed me to walk away from corporate America to become an author, motivational speaker, and philanthropist. And what is courage? That quality of mind or spirit that you can act without fear, no pain. So have no fear as you become advocates for future generations. Have no fear as you acknowledge those who need it more than you think. And have no fear in being a fighter for social justice. But this is our Black history, and this is our time. Speaking of time, I'm all done. So thank you very much.